Good afternoon, evening, or whenever you happen to be listening.
We're back to the Truman Show. No.
And welcome to the podcast for the Knights Lunarius.
I am Dasting.
I'm Maya.
Romy.
Meow.
Meow.
And this is our very first, this is actually our second episode because we did the first one right before the convention that we work at.
Yep.
And then this is our second one where this is our second, but this is our official launch.
Right, because we tried to do, we did a panel at the convention and we tried to get that. And it
didn't work out.
didn't work out this year. We'll get that to work another time.
The panel worked
worked
great.
fine, yes.
Recording it.
Not so much.
No, we tried to live stream it and just didn't work. Sorry about that. But
Hey, every time, we'll get better at it as we do more of these things. So today we are sitting in Dasting's living room with multiple screens and multiple player capabilities for being within Final Fantasy XIV. I suspect at some point we're going to stop goofing around and actually run an instance or something this afternoon.
probably. Unfortunately, that most likely is, if we do that, we'll edit it into one of these episodes if it's a half hour long.
Or so.
Otherwise, this is definitely not being done live. We are recording before everything so we can edit it down and make sure
'Cause
it
we're
sounds
smart
good
that
for
way.
you. Yes. Live, I don't like dead air.
I don't envy folks that have to do things live. I used to have to do things live in one of my previous incarnations, and there's no room for error.
No.
Ever.
No. Where when we have a Pro Tools set up, we're going to be able to edit this down, make sure we're good to go. Add a little bit of background music. I'm thinking maybe Final Fantasy.
So the point of today, though, is just us chatting a little bit, talking to each other, interviewing each other. We talked about doing that so that the folks that are listening have a better idea of who the goofballs are on the other side of the microphones.
Yep.
Because we are,
Oh,
and happily so.
yes.
I'm just waiting for Rami to say something. I can see it clicking in his head.
Yeah.
I can smell it burning over here.
Who's burning the catnip?
I told you it grows in the house. You can come have it anytime you want.
Oh, I know where it's at.
I know you do.
I know where Dasting's stash is. I know where your stash is.
I'm about ready to put a stash in your bedroom of Dasting's house.
There actually already is a stash there. I've already put it there. That's my backup to the backup to the backup to the backup.
Yes, we know.
Yeah.
We know how Rami rolls here.
Yes.
Sort of like gummy berry juice, only it's catnip juice.
No, thanks. Now I have that song in my head.
Please don't.
Bouncing
No,
here and
don't.
there
Please,
No.
and
please,
everywhere.
please. Oh,
No, not that one.
help me.
Catnip flying off the lawn chair.
I was actually more
They are the
recurring to the
catnip.
song that Sunny
Just don't.
sings when she's
Aw.
kidnapped.
I'm going to hurt them.
And
I
it's
tell you
just-
right now, I'm going to have to hurt them.
I'm not going to sing it
Thank you.
because it's copyrighted.
There's that.
Oh. See, I changed the lyrics to the previous
you
song,
did it.
so...
You did a parody.
I did a
wouldn't
parody.
have done a parody because I'm not that much of a linguist.
Some are more cunning than others.
The cat was biting her
Wow.
tongue.
Yeah.
Yes. Maya was biting her tongue there. And so was all the rest of the cats here. Meow. Because, see, I'm a cat boy, Rami's a cat girl. Maya's the only human in the bunch right now.
Yeah, but Maya has plenty of cats, so there you go. There you go.
In fact, there's one at your feet right now.
That one's not mine.
I know.
That's Dasting's Curial kitten. I've got the Chinese dog.
And they're not fighting, oh my gosh.
No, only the wolf pup and the kitten play with each other. Those are the only two of the minions that I have seen interact with each other.
Yeah.
which is fine. But anyway, so we're wasting our time here.
Yeah, we are.
And instead of actually doing stuff. So, to put somebody on the spot, okay, Daysting.
Yes.
Tell me about Daysting and how Daysting came to be.
Well, Daysting, the name Daysting actually came up from a comic book script I was developing when I was in high school. It's not very good. I still have it somewhere. Called The Chosen. And Daysting was the crown prince of the Elf Kingdom.
Mm-hmm.
He has two brothers. One is Poco, Silent Load. His older brother is Nanning, and the reason why Daysting got the crown was because Nanning left.
Decided to choose another path.
Yeah, he chose the human realm,
Okay.
and he came to the human realm. Well, Daysting decided to explore where he shouldn't have, and unleashed demons onto the human realm from the elf realm.
Oh,
So-
bother. That's never a good thing.
Never a good thing. And so the whole story was Daysting, his teacher, and the captain of his guard going to the human realm, covering, wearing stocking caps or whatever, and recapturing all of these things that they have unleashed.
Oh, cool. So, in Final Fantasy XIV, what is Daysting's role, job? What does he do?
He started out as a monk. He's now a samurai because, well, weapons.
Mm-hmm.
If we were to role play our characters, Daysting would be more of a fun-loving person.
Mm-hmm.
That's why being a monk really doesn't suit him too much, because he's not as serious as he needs to be.
Right.
I don't know if giving him a sword is the best option either,
You're the one who...
but sometimes he just likes to put the sword out and say, "Here, just sit on this and slide down." If that he'll say that if he's angry with you.
You?
Macroed.
Oh, boy. Oh, boy.
Samurais, the sit and spin masters.
That is true. That is true. So putting Rami on the spot, tell us about your character.
Well, Romy derives from the show Andromeda, hence her last name, Andromeda, even though it's spelled slightly different, including the first name spelled different. I do have a special love for sci-fi shows, even some of the cheesy ones out there. Andromeda, I think, falls into some of the cheesy categories. It's a show that it takes a special kind of sci-fi lover to actually enjoy it. But being the type of person I am, I do fall in love with characters, and it's not hard to fall in love with the AI from the show Andromeda, who was named Romy. And it was a female-derived AI that controlled the ship. And they at least used someone that was attractive. So, it made the show bearable.
Okay.
I mean, not to say Kevin Sorbo doesn't do an okay job at, acting.
Making the job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He does an okay job. Yeah. Because you have to, after you've come down a few pegs from Conan.
Actually, Hercules.
Or Hercules, that's it, not Conan.
No, not Conan. Hercules.
Thank you.
Trust me.
Wasn't
Hercules.
Wasn't Conan like the former governor of California?
He still is.
He still is a former governor of California.
Yeah.
He sits on his throne with his sword every now and then in his grass. I mean, anyway.
We won't go into politics.
Not on this show.
It's not a tumor. Yeah, anyway. No, so yeah, I decided to create Romy. And at the time when I first found this, since I was first introduced to this game by you,
Yeah.
by Dasting.
Guilty.
Yeah, he pretty much...
Yeah.
The judge didn't even have to lift the gavel. The judge just looked and went, yeah, you're guilty.
Done.
Sat there with that grin on his face. And, yeah, as
I
you...
almost said a cat-eating grin.
Yeah, cat eating grin.
Well, better than the alternative. I don't know what rating we're giving this, so we're just going to stick to cat eating. Cat
PG-13.
You got it. That's what we'll
Yes.
say.
Although cat eating. Never mind. I'm gonna...
I went there. I'm sorry.
You went there, and I was waiting for you to take a drink, too, at the same time.
Oh, you would... Spit takes? Really? They don't translate very well. Well, actually, they just might.
Do you care to test that theory?
No.
No.
No, I figured as much.
Thank you.
No, so I went through the list of different races and was like, okay, here's your typical human race. Here's your typical elf race. Here's your typical... Okay, they've got weird scales. Must be a dragon race. Here's your typical tiny race of gnome, elf, or not elf, gnome, whatever, halfling,
whatever.
goblinish.
Lalafels.
The Lalafels.
They could have been Torotorus from Final Fantasy XI, but then we'd be naming everyone after footballs.
And
Keep going.
And here's the Puntable family. And then there are the cats, or in this game, they're called Mikots. And I was like, oh god. From just about every anime I've ever watched, the cat people are just hysterical with some of their antics, with their little twitchy ears, and the things that they get into, or their emotional interactions and things like that. And I was like, I gotta create one. And of course, the very first thing that popped in my head is, I'm gonna create Romy. And so, Romy from Andromeda is suddenly born in Final Fantasy XIV as a Mikote.
Well, I gotta say, it's really interesting that I usually let my friends create a character on my account to try it out for a couple hours before they play it. Did that with Rami here. And then I had another friend. He named his character Poundy McBeatface.
Oh yes, Poundy McBeatface. I believe he was a Lalafell.
No, he was not.
Oh no, he was
Dragon person.
That's right, Dragon person.
And I said, is this the character name that you would like to go with when you get the game? He goes, yes! I said, I will keep it on there until you buy the game and install it. That way it's not going to be taken. We all know it's not going to be taken, but it might now.
who knows? Anything is possible. Oh my gosh.
Poundy McBeatface. Okay. And then we have Maya Nakari.
I was gonna say the only other name that someone could try to sneak in is something with McLovin.
Already seen it on the server.
Oh my.
Don't need to see it again then. All right.
No.
On to Maya.
Wow. It's funny. You guys have these very specific reasons for naming your characters what you did. And I laugh at it because Maya was actually the name of a client that I had in real life, in my real work that I do. And I liked the first name. I just did. And Nakari, something out of my head. So as far as where the name came, I thought about coming up with something not unlike, what you guys had done, but it just didn't suit what I was building for her as a character. So Maya Nakari is completely original in that respect.
Cool.
There's, other than, I don't know what else to tell you. That part of her is really original. When I sat down with the game and started trying to build it, I'm like, well, I could do this or I could do that. But, this was and is actually the first MMO that I've ever played. for me, tabletop gaming, D&D, all of that stuff. I've been doing that since I was pretty young. But doing online type gaming or this kind of stuff, I'd never built this kind of a character before. I didn't know how it was going to work. I had to learn the whole process. And she, I didn't want to go too far out of my comfort zone, if that makes sense. Yeah, at least the first time out. And when I say too far out of my comfort zone, anyone that's ever gamed with me in D&D will know, if I'm making a character, if you just want me to make a character quick for me to play for whatever, chances are I'll be a ranger. Why? I like the ranged attacks. I'm very comfortable in it. Make me the tracker, make me the one that's searching, doing all of this stuff. I'm happy. It's something I'm very comfortable in and very confident in. And when I chose the human character in Final Fantasy XIV, she starts out as an archer going into a bard, and I'm like, this is my bread and butter. I'm very comfortable in this role, and so it's been fun playing her and walking through all of the parts of Final Fantasy XIV. There were some hard parts.
Yes.
Well, but I mean, there were some parts where it was like, oh, come on. Can't I get past this level? Can't I get out of the cold? I am tired of being cold in character or something like that. Because there were a few points where I felt like I kind of stalled out, but that was just normal game stuff. You have to do things.
And that's where the furry ears come into play there.
Shut up. Yeah, both of you and your furry ears.
Don't need earmuffs.
Yeah. Hey,
Actually, when the wind does blow into the ears, that does get cold.
Kind of,
it
yes.
Does. Hey, hats I don't have to worry about my ears getting, beat down by hats.
Yeah, that kind of hurts.
It can, yeah. But I'm very pleased with her in her development as a character, the skills that I've learned playing her, and okay, let's just be realistic. I love the clothes.
Oh yeah.
I commend the designers in the game for coming up with the variety of things for us to wear. I have a couple things I'd love to have them do optionally for us, so that we could mix and match some things. But then that's me, who is a designer, a clothing designer outside of the game. I would like to be able to do some other things. You are not deeply ashamed of your outfit, Rami. Now stop that. Rami is doing some very silly things in game right now, and I actually like the outfit. She's okay. Now that's another story. She just changed to the bikini outfit.
Oh, that's beach tank.
That's the beach tank. Okay, but no, I like the clothing so much in this game that I actually took the time to develop a pattern, and I knit myself the sweater that happens to be Maya's favorite piece of gear in the game.
I would love to have my outfit in real life.
Well, you mean the current...
A lot of these outfits.
There's a lot of them. And actually, I've been looking at them and kind of having happy thoughts of figuring out how to translate them. And I know people do it all the time. I know that they have an event right now for the red carpet cosplay. They're doing where people have pulled their outfits and stuff, and I thought that looked really fascinating. And it's something that I would like to actually see more of as a, I've been a cosplayer for a very long time.
Yeah.
And, since, 1977. I know. But
it works.
Yeah, that's just it. I've been doing it for a long time, and that's one of the reasons why I really am enjoying this game is all of the different clothes that come up.
So you have worn that outfit, at least that top, for
Well,
at least a dozen or so levels, it feels like. Because of how much you've loved it.
I want to say that I actually got that at like level 52, 55, something like that. And I have glamored things. Well, probably, I take it back. I got it just before we went to the Ruby Sea. So just before we went into the Ruby Sea. And the reason I say that is in real life, I'm actually a scuba diver on top of it. And I love the sweater with the black pants that I got because it looks like my scuba suit. And that's the thing. I started wearing it when we went to the Ruby Sea. And so whatever level that was, that's how long I've been wearing it, and I've glamored it, and I still wear it.
I was going to say, that actually still then makes sense with the dozen or so levels, because that was our level 50s, I believe?
Level 60s, I think.
Or 60s.
60s are what took us, because that took us into Stormblood.
That's right.
Because Ruby Sea was the beginning of Stormblood, right?
It was...
Yes, because it's after Dragon... No, it's because it's after Dragon Song, which is the end of Heavensward. So that would... and
level... it's minimum level of 63. Because you go in to where Alamigo is first, then you go to the Ruby Sea, then you come back to that.
Okay, so, well, whatever. In that time frame, that's when I got that sweater, and you're right.
And it's not really spoilers, people, because I didn't say anything about the story. Boom, play it.
No. But, and I've actually seen this sweater on NPCs in Alamigo, come to think of it.
Yep.
But it was a black sweater, and of course I've dyed mine to turquoise, and I absolutely fell in love with that garment to the point of, like I said, taking the time to develop a knitting pattern, and then taking the time and actually knitting the whole sweater. And I can't wait for it to cool off again so I get a chance to wear it.
Cool off?
Well, because we're good. I finished it as we got to spring, and it is too warm for me to wear it. Right now. I won't get to wear it until this next fall. But that's I love some of the garments that they have designed. If ever I had a chance to sit down with the makers of this game, I'd love to sit down with the designers, the clothing designers, because wow,
it's beautiful.
It's constantly changing.
So a follow-up question for you, because you told us more about how you brought Maya into existence. If you were to role play her in the game, what would she be like? What would she be like?
Ooh. She's focused on her job. She can let loose and have fun when she's with the right group of people, but she very much is the warrior of light. She understands what her job is, that it's not something that it chose her rather than her choosing it. Some ways I think she's a little lonely because she can't really share that with anyone else, because it's a solitary path that you have to walk. It's not that she doesn't enjoy the people that she's around. She loves her friends. She loves being with the other scions and whomever she is working with. But she's very. She deals with a lot of stuff. She's taken on a lot of burden for the world when she took on the role of the Warrior of Light. So, she is just who she is. She is that.
And this is a little bit getting into side quest spoilers, but because we only have 5 minutes,
okay.
I'm thinking all of our characters, this is a question for me too. What do you think about Hildebrand?
Well, I've gone through 2 of the quests and stopped because it was too silly.
And what would Maya think about Hildebrand?
He's silly. And okay. I know there are other people who really enjoy those and think they're fun. I think they're a waste of time. I just I know that you get kind of funky little things that come from doing the quests. I have no interest in doing them.
To me, I think it's almost something like watching the Pink Panther movies.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, Clouseau.
Yes.
You're right.
Yeah.
Because
maybe that's
he
it.
manages to get things done, even though it's more your character getting things done and his assistant getting things done, or his father or other people getting things done. He just happens to show up at the right time, the wrong moment,
And gets all the credit.
gets all the credit.
His father owns the gold saucer. His father really doesn't want him to do anything but help him manage the golden saucer.
Which, of course, he has no
desire to do. He likes being a detective. A bad detective, but a detective. Where, honestly, Dasting thinks he's an idiot. But he knows...
No, he is an idiot.
Yeah, which
he is
kind of why
Dasting would treat him like
toleration.
Yeah. Dasting understands that Dasting doesn't want to do anything to, harm Hildebrand's reputation, because Dasting doesn't want the spotlight. Oh. But he knows that the work that Hildebrand is trying to do is help other people. So he goes along with it. But at the end of the day, when he goes to his bedroom, he is screaming in his pillow, "God, you're f***ing stupid!"
And this would be one of the reasons why Maya just cannot tolerate that foolishness.
2 minutes and 50 seconds left. Rami? What does Rami think about him?
Clouseau.
Yeah, I was the one that brought up the Pink Panther thing.
Yeah, but you're right.
But he is the bumbling idiot. He is the Mr. Bean.
Oh gosh, yes.
of detective work. Mixed in with a little Ace Ventura.
Yeah. Yeah.
It is literally his antics are just, alrighty then. Oh, he's off. And we're left going, but he didn't get all the information.
He has no idea where he's going.
But he's managed to find it.
And he
manages
always
to get there.
And he always manages to tear his nice suit to ribbons.
Oh, yes.
Okay, that would make me crazy.
And he managed to die and come back and be brought back to life.
I think I played that one.
You thought he was a zombie the first time you met him.
Like I said, I think I played that one.
I did give spoiler warnings, so yeah, you saw.
Oh, that is the beginning. Yes.
That is the very beginning, though. Yeah. So you're not spoiling. Much.
But as it continues, it is a really fun and evolving story. Yes, there are stupid antics all over the place, and you're left just slapping your face, going, "Are you kidding me?"
Yeah.
But you continue on, get it done, and you have fun, and you get a few little tiny perks at the end.
Yeah, it is definitely comic relief, because if you just go through quest line after quest line after quest line, it gets monotonous. It gets depressing at sometimes.
There are moments, yeah.
To me, this is me, not the character now. To me, it is a breakup of the drama that is Final Fantasy XIV.
Well, and I would agree with that. Well, I tell you what, we are almost out of time, and I thank you for listening to our ramblings, and I know we'll be back to do more on another day. So thanks for joining us. This is Maya
Dasting
signing off.
Have a great day.